Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Since we're approaching the end of the year, I really wanted to do a video talking about the biggest and most impactful cozy games that came out this year, as well as my personal favorites, and then my favorite games that maybe aren't as cozy as well. I think it's been a pretty good year for cozy games, so let's get into it. The first game I want to talk about came out in January, right at the start of the year, and it was a pretty big deal at the time. I remember it breaking all sorts of sales records, and I'm not sure how many people are still playing it, but at its peak it had 2 million concurrent players on Steam. And of course, I'm talking about Palworld. It's truly insane how huge this game was on release, and you could definitely argue that a lot of that was based on its marketing as Pokemon with guns and piggybacking off the Pokemon franchise, which is why they're currently being sued by Nintendo. Just to clarify, the marketing is not actually the reason Nintendo is suing them. I looked into it a bit, and they're suing them for patent infringement on 3 different patents. 2 of those patents cover a video game where a character catches another character by throwing a ball. And the 3rd patent covers a video game where a character can switch between different characters to ride on. The patents are a lot more specific than that, but I don't understand patent law, so that's just my summary of it. Aside from that, I actually found the game really fun. And I really like that you could play multiplayer. It's basically like a survival base builder that's also a creature collector game, and the creatures you collect help build your base, harvest materials, and then help you defeat bosses. There's also a lot of exploration in the game and a lot of cute creatures to find, and I had a lot of fun with it. I haven't played it much since shortly after it came out, but I could definitely see myself getting back into it. Despite their current legal issues, they did announce a big update at the Game Awards, which came out December 23rd, the day I'm recording this. This update includes a brand new island with new pals, NPCs, bosses, and more. They also announced that throughout 2025 they'll be doing some collabs with Terraria, starting with a small one in this update where they've added the Meow Mirror weapon. I've never played Terraria, but it's pretty cool that they're doing a partnership like this. So I'll definitely try it out when that update comes out. This next game is also a survival base builder, but you can definitely feel the influence of cozy games like Stardew Valley in the farming mechanics, the music, and the art style. I think this game has been talked about a lot, especially in cozy gaming circles, and had 46,000 concurrent peak players on Steam, which is kind of a lot for a cozy game. So if you didn't guess, this one is Core Keeper. I really like this game, and it's one of my favorites of the year. I talk about it a lot, I think, but I'm always looking for cozy games that I can play with my partner, so a game having multiplayer is a big plus for me. And I think Core Keeper not only has that, it also has a good variety of things to do that both me and my partner can enjoy. Initially, I didn't think I'd like it much since the entire game is set in an underground cave system, and that just didn't seem like it'd be that cozy to me. But there are different biomes to explore with cute creatures, and even the ability to farm crops and ranch cows. There's a lot of exploration and combat, including boss battles, which I had a lot of fun with my partner. There's also resource gathering and designing and building your base. Overall, I loved it, and I can definitely see the hype behind it, and it's definitely a co-op game that I've added to the rotation with my partner. Switching gears a little bit, this next game is a beautiful, atmospheric puzzle platformer. I'm not sure how popular it was, since I hadn't really heard of it, but it did have good critical reception and received an award this year at the Game Awards for Best Game for Change, as well as 2 other nominations. This one is Neva. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's by a Spanish developer, and I don't speak any Spanish, so I'm just guessing. I looked after, and it's actually Neva. Sorry about that. I didn't play this game, and I'm not normally a platformer type person, but I did play another game by the same developer a few years ago, Grease. And it was a game that really stuck with me. I think I just kind of got it on a whim, like maybe in a Humble Bundle or deeply on sale or something like that, so I didn't know what I was getting into when I played that game, but it tackled heavy topics like grief and family, completely visually with no dialogue. And I think it was done really beautifully. Neva is about a woman who raises a wolf named Neva, and it revolves around the theme of a parent-child relationship with themes of the environment and a deteriorating earth. I really like the concept and I really like the developer's previous game, so I'm sure this game is just as beautiful. I hadn't heard about it at all until the Game Awards, but I think it deserves some recognition and I can't wait to play it soon. I also wanted to mention Little Kitty Big City, a cute little platforming type game where you play a cat who fell off the apartment ledge you were sleeping on, and now you have to try and find your way back home. Along the way, you meet other animals, catch birds, and cause mayhem. I originally didn't include this game in the popular games section because its numbers on Steam are pretty small, but I had forgotten that it released on Switch and Xbox as well. There's content made about the game that has hundreds of thousands to millions of views, and it sold 100,000 copies in the first 48 hours. I made a video specifically about the game when it came out, but I thought I should mention it here too. I thought it was really cute and fun. If it wasn't for the fact that I don't like jump quests or platformers, I think I would have played it even more. It's weird that the idea of the game is very similar to Stray, but the gameplay experience is very, very different, and probably closer to the Untitled Goose Game. Overall, I liked its coziness and silly little mayhem you can cause, and it's definitely something that I could see myself replaying. The next big game is still in early access, so I guess technically it didn't come out this year, but I think a lot of cozy gamers have played it and been talking about it. This is a Stardew-esque farming life sim, but with a bit more of a magical twist. And of course, it's Fields of Mistria. This is interesting to me because I think there are a lot of games like this that kind of try and piggyback off the success of Stardew, but it's actually a formula that's really hard to do right. And a lot of those games end up feeling kind of soulless to me. So with these kind of games, it's really the details that decide if it's worth playing. I played Fields of Mistria and I think it has real potential. The NPCs are really well designed in my opinion, and the world actually feels alive, which I think is a big issue in a lot of these kinds of games. The magic aspect feels fun and fresh, and my only critique right now, which is a big one for me, is that there is no multiplayer. If there was multiplayer, I'd be playing this immediately, and probably a lot more than I have. As it stands now, I played a decent amount of it and I definitely enjoyed it, but I haven't picked it up in a while, because there's a lot of other games I've been playing. I can definitely see myself choosing it when I next get in the mood for this specific type of game though, and I'm excited for the full release to see what else they're adding. And the last one in this popular or impactful games section is a game that came out this past month. It has stunning visuals, but it isn't something I really thought I'd be interested in because it's a gacha game. But man, was I wrong. And this one is Infinity Nikki. It's an open world gacha dress-up game, and it is really, really fun. I saw the trailer for this coming out of Gamescom, but it really didn't explain at all what the game was about. It was just a bunch of cute visuals, so I kind of wrote off this game as not really something I was interested in. But there is a story, and it goes a lot deeper than I would have thought. It's also darker than I would have thought. You're trying to find out why people are randomly falling into comas. Kind of feels like Persona 5 in that way. There are also these stylist gangs that you take down by challenging each member to a style competition. There's also bug catching, animal grooming, fishing, combat, and some platforming elements to the game. And each of these skills corresponds to a specific outfit that your character wears, which I think is really cute. I think the gacha element isn't too distracting, and I don't feel like I need to spend money to enjoy the game. But if a gacha game is just 100% not for you, then that's totally fair. The gacha aspect is to get specific clothing pieces, but you still get clothing through just playing the game by working on the story, doing mini games, and exploring. Another thing that I like about the gacha aspect is that in a lot of other gacha games, you'll need to pull the same rare thing 10 times before you actually have access to that item. Whereas in this game, the rare item is an outfit with 10 pieces, and each time you pull an item from that outfit, you still get to use it, even though you don't have the complete outfit. Anyway, I'm still actively playing the game and enjoying it, and my partner is even playing too, and this is definitely not his kind of game. So now I want to move on and talk about some games that maybe didn't have as big an impact or weren't that popular, but that I really liked this year or played a lot of. I'll also mention a couple games here that I've been playing that aren't so cozy, but I'll keep that part brief. I think my favorite cozy game of the year was Petit Island. This was a game I picked up just because of the cute art style, really, but I was really charmed by the story, and it's definitely something I would replay. You play a cat who's going on a trip to an island that your grandfather grew up on, and your goal is to recreate some of his old adventures and have some of your own to tell him about because he's starting to lose his memory. The characters are cute, the island is surprisingly large with a lot of different areas to explore, and the story is nice and sweet. There's definitely nothing crazy unique about this game, but for me it just had that perfect cozy feeling that doesn't always click with every game that I play. I will say that my one complaint about this game is that there are things in the world that seem like they should be part of the game but just aren't. For example, there are these really cute strawberry lizards, tomato crabs, and these raccoons with plants sprouting out of their heads, and they're in specific places almost as if it's supposed to be a little game to find them, but you can't do anything with them. You can't catch them, there isn't any achievement for finding them as far as I know. Taking a picture of them doesn't do anything. They're just not part of the game. But I really like them and I wish they were part of the game. There's also a lot of shops and buildings in the town that you can't interact with or go into, and full built out areas that just aren't used in the story at all. It feels to me like maybe the devs had planned to add more, but they ended up scaling it back due to resource issues. But I'm just speculating on that, I have no idea. I still really love the game and would definitely replay it. I just really wanted to be able to catch one of those raccoons as a pet. Another one I really loved this year is Duck Detective: The Secret Salami. It's a short but cute noir mystery game where you play a duck detective who's working to uncover a secret salami smuggling ring. I really like detective games and I have a really fond place in my heart for the Professor Layton series, so I really like this game. The puzzles are fun and not overly easy, the characters have dimension, and it has a satirical noir mystery thing going on with the music and the voice acting, which just make it a blast to play.
The truth is an ugly mistress, but I ain't no ugly duckling.
A sequel to this game is coming out in 2025, Duck Detective: The Ghost of Glamping, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm planning to make another video soon about my most anticipated games for 2025, and it will definitely be on there. Aside from cozy games this year, my favorite game of the year is Metaphor. My favorite game series of all time is the Persona series, so when Metaphor came out I was very excited. I really like the modern setting of Persona, so I didn't think I'd like Metaphor as much, but Metaphor has some really cool world building and story going on, and as always, the music and the design of the game is amazing. Another one that's been really fun for me as someone who used to play a ton of Overwatch back in the day when it was good is Marvel Rivals. I'm not at all a Marvel fan and I don't really know anything about the lore, but I played this game in the alpha and I really got hooked on it, so I'm very excited that it's finally released. And then lastly, of course, I've been playing Runescape. If there's any Runescapers watching this video who got to this point, yes, I'm still playing. I've been playing Leagues since it came out in November and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm definitely a noob, so I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying to complete tasks and unlock areas. I liked the idea that I could try bosses in Leagues that I'm not advanced enough to try in the normal game, but I haven't really even got that far in Leagues, so I'm not sure about that. I haven't been making videos about RuneScape as much because when I make videos about it, then that means I play less, because I need to spend time actually editing the footage. So for Leagues, I decided to just play the game, and I'll probably make a video afterwards just to talk about the choices I made and my experience playing leagues. Anyway, I've talked enough. I just wanted to do a little recap of 2024 cozy games to reflect on all the cool ones that came out this year. Let me know in the comments what your favorites were of 2024 and what you're looking forward to in 2025. I'm always curious to learn about cute and cozy games being made, especially since a lot of them are indie and some of them are really hard to find out about. Honestly, I do spend a lot of time researching and trying to find new games coming out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!